What's up everybody, Tommy Harr with the real side of real estate, and in today's video, it's been a long time since I've done this, I'm just going to break down start to finish how to analyze a fix and flip and a possible BRRRR deal. So I'm going to take you through walking through pictures of a house, running through a deal analyzer, working backwards into an offer price, and how much money you should be making on a fix and flip, and hopefully open your eyes on what it takes to actually analyze a property to where you can actually make some money. It's going to be a lot of screen sharing. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so this is a property in Columbus, Ohio, but I assume that they have these types of properties in any market. So this is hopefully a quick cosmetic rehab, but want to hopefully open up what it looks like to analyze a deal. So that means running your ARV, what are your comparable sales, maybe your finish quality, all the things and your numbers to get backwards into, okay, is this something I should take on? Is it not? So let's start right now. All right, so the first thing I do is, so we have pictures of the property. If you're buying from a wholesaler, if you're buying on the market, obviously going to the house is best case scenario, but if you have enough pictures, you should be able to buy a house literally just looking at pictures. I don't walk a lot of the houses we buy anymore, just because if you have 150, 200 pictures of a house, you should be able to get extremely close on an offer, and then you can add buffer on the bottom of your contingency budget to make sure you're doing the right thing. So this property is a split level house. We'll get through all the pictures here in a minute, but first thing I always do is I go to my auditor site. So the auditor site is going to be your public record in your county of how old, just everything about the house. Okay, so everything that the city knows about the house. So let me just give you an idea about this. 6352 Hibiscus, so type it in. I don't own this property yet. So the owner mailing is the same as the, So the owner mailing is the same thing as the tax mailing. So that means that this person lived in this house and it was a trust, so maybe it was a probate, who knows. But the most important things here is I'm gonna go through is, okay, number one is school district. So this is in Westerville Schools. Next thing we have are your taxes. So you have $4,800 a year taxes. This is not built in 1970, very important, knowing the age of the house. And then the total finished area, so about 1350 square foot. It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath on about 0.2 acres. 0.2. So what you can also do in a lot of your auditor sites is go to a photo. So I always kind of like to look to make sure I'm looking at the same house as what the pictures have. Okay, so you got a 2-car garage, looks pretty clean. Then you can also look at and see if they pulled any permits. You can see when it was transferred last. You can do a whole lot of things on the auditor, but what I use it for is age of home, what they say the square footage is, and what they say the beds and baths. Now, people will renovate without telling the auditor, so sometimes your beds and bath counts will not match. So the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out what my ARV or the comparable sales in this property are, because I like to work backwards to my offer price. Most people, they look at the ask amount and they work upwards to it. I think it's much easier and smarter to work backward to an offer price. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go 6352 Hibiscus. I know that this school district is actually pretty nice. So nice neighborhood, nice school district. That's, if for those of you watching this video and you're maybe trying to buy your first flip or one of your first ones, these are the ones you want to find. Good neighborhoods, the old time capsules in neighborhoods, or they can be destroyed, or they can be close to turnkey. So I like to pull up the street view if it'll work. A lot of times it won't work because why would it work when I want to show you guys? So what I do is I type in the address and then I just hit the plus sign, and I use Zillow to comp all my properties. You can use PropStream, you can use Redfin, you can use the MLS if you have it. Just make sure you know the basics of comping houses out. So what I want to do is, okay, Hibiscus Court, this is where the property's at. Just make sure you're in the right area. Now it looks like this is a main road. And mind you, I've never looked at this house yet. So I'm going to be doing this all live. I'm just going to like literally tell you what I see. So right here, it looks like this is all one neighborhood. So my street is right here. So let's look super close to this. So we got a 3-bed, 2-bath, different type of house. So I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,600 square foot. So this one's a ranch, a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna try my best to find what are called split level houses. So this right here is a split level, a little bit different type of split, but that's okay. And this is about the same size. So 3.2, sold for 340, and it's virtually staged. So this to me was probably a flip. So you got your basic white cabinets, your granite countertops, your gray everywhere. This to me is probably a flipped house. Or somebody moved out and they painted it, or was flipped in the past. Okay, so that one sold for 340. Let's go 530, can't be true. Okay, this one looks almost exactly the same as far as the 2 garages. So this is on Bitterroot. What do we got here? LVP floors, decent kitchen, nice living room. Okay, let's actually go back and get an idea of what this place looks like on the inside. So we know what the outside looks like. Let's just kind of get a brief idea so I know that I'm comping like to the right property. Sometimes these get jumbled too. That's always a pain in the butt. Okay, walk in, it looks like it splits up and splits down. So meaning that when you come in the front door, it goes down and it goes up. Okay, living room upstairs, going around to a dining room, into a dining room, into the kitchen, it looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to find pretty much this. So this is your front door, split up, split down. So this one here does not do that. So maybe a comp, maybe not. Typically the ones that split up and split down are not as sexy, let's call it. Okay, so this one right here, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,300 square foot, so pretty much the same house. Splits up, splits down, updated kitchen. Decent little house here, okay? Okay, your bathrooms are not all that nice. So this is a, I don't know, B minus quality. So I'm gonna write that down as definitely a comp, 303. Okay, we got this one, 1,600 square foot. This one doesn't look like it's a split, so I'm gonna kind of throw that one out. Okay, we got this one, 1,500 square foot. This looks like it's probably gonna be the exact same. Yep, splits up, splits down. This one looks like it's a nice rehab. So you got nice LVP, pretty much the same layout as mine. Looks like they maybe even painted cabinets, which is crazy. So comps seem to be a little bit all over the place, but generally speaking, I'm gonna probably throw out the top comp, which would be this. This is a 3 bed, 2 bath. It's a little bit bigger than ours, but it's got the 2 car. It's nice. So this one's 350. The other one sold for kind of 325. So I'm gonna maybe settle in that 330 range. So 330, maybe 335. Seems like, I mean, you got this one here, 1,388 square foot. One more comp, about the same size as ours. Splits up, splits down. You got your basic laminate floors. Kitchen's nice, but it's not like rock your socks nice. So I would say this one's over 320. I'm gonna say my ARV is probably 335. So 335, and once again, you gotta kind of use your context clues. Like you might be watching this and you might think ARV is 320. Then run your numbers at 320. There's nobody that's gonna be like, you're wrong in that scenario. So, but you know at least you're within that 320 to hopefully 340-ish range. I don't think 350 is possible. It did happen for the one, but in this market, I like to stay pretty conservative. And I guess there's one more here. But these are also a little bit bigger too, mind you. Okay, you got your 2-car garage, nice big backyard. Same thing, nothing too crazy, splits up, split down. I mean, yeah, I'd say my ARV is probably 335, 340. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, first off, if you don't have my deal analyzer, I would highly recommend downloading it. It's gonna be in the show notes, and I'll show you how to use it. There's also other videos on how to use it, but I'm gonna just do this thing live here for us. So let's say 335 is my ARV. Let's now talk about the rehab. So I'm gonna pull up the comp that I wanna make this most like. So where was the 350? So this one, I'm gonna try and make my house look exactly like this one as far as my finishes. So that means clean, nice LVP floors. I've got, I mean, nice staging. They probably live in this house. Nice light fixtures, but they painted the cabinets. So if my cabinets look like that and I can paint them, maybe. So I gotta choose the design on how I wanna do this. Usually when somebody does not show their showers, it also means that the shower surrounds are not beautiful. So this one, like, they have nice floors, they have nice color schemes, but it's not like overly nice unless you can look a little bit deeper. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Okay, so here we're starting walking up. So you got this yellow painting, or yellow paint. We've got this half wall in the kitchen. We've got laminate floors. Okay, we have my kitchen cabinets, pretty much the same cabinets, but your fridge is all out here alone. So what I would do likely with this kitchen is I would, if I was trying to push maybe a little bit higher ARV, I'd replace these cabinets, and I would probably do some sort of like cabinets around here to like a little bit of an island or a peninsula, just to kind of tie everything in to make it nice. Okay, we need light fixtures. Typically, if I'm doing this like truly, I'm gonna write down all of my light fixtures as well. So I got one in the kitchen, one in the dining room. I don't have like a cheat sheet that has all that stuff, but I'll like just make lights, just start doing tallies. Like you can count certain things. And I would call this probably a medium-sized kitchen. Also, other things that you can really easily budget for is like square footage of paint, square footage of flooring, all of these things. Everybody, I even got a DM today and he was like, Tom, I'm having a hard time estimating rehab costs. Now that's not gonna be easy. It's not something that you just wave a magic wand and you learn how to do it. But there are certain things, like this house right here, you should be pretty dialed in on what it should cost, because there's nothing out of the ordinary, at least from what we've seen yet. Okay, kitchen, now you gotta replace the cabinets. You got to do new appliances, you got to do new granite, you got to do a backsplash. I mean, usually that's like 10 to 14 grand for us. Okay, we also have to demo. So we got to remove all these floors. All right, we got another light fixture. I don't know if this is wallpaper or not, but if it is, that's extra skimming for your walls. Okay, my interior doors, we got solid core, or not solid core doors, just basic slab doors. Okay, you got wallpaper in your bedroom, different kind of floors. Trim looks okay, no light fixtures. So my trim looks good. My walls and I'm assuming that's wallpaper, so I got to get rid of that. Okay, my one bathroom here. Tile floors look decent. I mean, you might be able to keep that stuff. Definitely got to do a new vanity. Your vanity is this. You got to do a new sink as well. You got to do a new mirror. You got to do a new light. You got to do new towel bars. If you do new floors, yeah, these are like laminate floors. So I would do new floors, probably tile, and you're going to probably want to pull the trim and keep it. Okay, our shower surround is not very nice. So I would say new shower. I might keep this tub because it looks nice. But new shower fixture, so we need a new off and on, we need a new spigot, and we need the new actual plumbing behind the wall before you start to tile. We also need an exhaust fan, a new toilet, all that stuff. Okay, bedroom, these walls, the ceilings, everything looks really nice. Like this seems like a pretty cosmetic rehab here. Paint all the doors, so I got 3 bedrooms. One other thing you want to count is doors and doorknobs. 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. You got your bathroom. You also want to look to see the hinge count. So like if you're really building your scope of work while you're doing this, so we got 2 hinges on these doors, sometimes they're gonna have 3. So each of those, you know, you gotta order hinges as well for that. Closet doors look like they're okay. Okay, let's keep going here. Picture a little jumbled, but that's okay. New floors. Probably take out these mirrors, the 70s mirrors in the bedroom. Okay, you got a master bathroom right here. Okay, you probably need a new exhaust fan. Floors are not bad. Maybe keep these floors. So floors are not bad. Probably keep the toilet. Probably replace the vanity. Depends on how nice you want to make this thing. So if you want to get that top ARV, I'd probably replace that stuff. But I think your floors can stay. New mirror, new light. Okay. So they didn't, oh they did, okay. So they took a picture of the shower. So I need a new shower surround for sure. Let's see about the pan. I would assume you can maybe keep that pan. Let's see if there's any more pictures of it. Nope. Actually, I'm not going to assume that. So I'm going to assume new pan, new shower fixture. This one doesn't need a spigot, so it's just the shower system. And then a new exhaust fan. So pretty cosmetic repairs. You're not going to be doing any like crazy rough plumbing. You're not moving toilets. You're not adding things. You're really just kind of plugging and playing. Okay. After that, okay, we need LVP. So if we're going to rip out all the floors, we got to demo the floors in the kitchen. We're going to do all LVP throughout the main living space, maybe even into your bathrooms if you wanted, and then through the kitchen. So the first floor is all going to be LVP. Okay, we're down in the basement. Furnace looks a bit old. We'll hopefully get an idea. This is your water heater, definitely old, so I need a water heater. Water heaters will last 10 to 12 years. This is probably 25, 30 years. They can last longer, we've seen it, but for budgeting's sake, make sure you budget for it. Okay, you got a Pushmatic electrical panel. Okay, there's your old water heater. Okay, we got our unfinished portion of our basement. Remember, this is split level, so it goes down and it goes up. We're in our down side of this basement. Pushmatic panels. Some people will say you need to replace it. Pushmatic is this. So the way you can remember this is they have, instead of breakers, they have push buttons. So you just push all of these to turn off and on your circuits. Some people will say you need to replace it. I don't think you do. I don't think they're bad. They're just expensive to find pieces to replace. But take that with a grain of salt. Whatever you want to do, ask people in your market what they say. Okay, my furnace here, my serial number is 5804. That means this thing is 2005, so it's 21 years old. I know furnaces should last about 20. Does that mean you have to replace this? No, Lennox is a nice furnace brand, but I'm going to write it down that it's old. So it's at design life. So furnace at design. And also, like, if you need help with this stuff, have a home inspector or a contractor walk these houses with you to give you an idea. I've done this stuff for so long that I just know. But I wouldn't expect you to know, because I remember when I started, I just didn't know any of this stuff. Okay, we got our half bath downstairs here. Let's see if I got another picture here. Oops, yep, okay. Probably can keep the floors. Vanity we're going to replace. It looks like an 18. New toilet. Probably new wallpaper, paint, or whatever. New exhaust fan, new mirror, new vanity light. Okay, downstairs in the basement area. Looks like we got some paneling. But overall, like, if the paneling's not bad, like, to rip this out and drywall it is a lot of work. It doesn't seem like these houses, like, if you're in an area that's up and coming and the houses are beautifully done, like perfect, some of the comps we looked at are pretty as is. And there's no like clear delta to tell me, hey, if I spend another $3,000 in the basement on this drywall, am I going to get this much value out of it? It's just, if it's clean, if it's functional, it looks like it's probably going to sell in this neighborhood. Okay, so I at least got to paint. I got to do new floors. I'll probably bring the LVP down into the basement. I'll probably carpet the stairs. So this will, or just carpet it all. But I like to, also because your garage likely goes in this area, I like to LVP all that stuff. So LVP downstairs, then carpet your stairs. I like to paint my garage floors, and I like to paint my garages as well. My plumbing stack here looks nice. Okay, so now we're outside. So a recap of the inside, we need a kitchen remodel, 2 light bathroom remodels. Really, it's just like vanity toilets, maybe some floors, and then shower surrounds and shower fixtures. So nothing insane. And then we need to paint. If we're laying LVP, we need to cord around. So trim, and then you cord around so you hide the seams. All right, now we're outside. All right, right away, I see we've got a nice, this is called a dimensional roof. It lays on top of each other. So these are 25-year roofs. That looks like a really, really nice roof, to be honest. So what I want to do is 6352 hibiscus. So what I want to do here is, hopefully my internet will work. I want to go to Google Earth here, and I'm going to look at it. So this was in 2019. So in 2019, I'm seeing that this was a different roof. This is a flat roof, whereas, maybe I can go to 2020. Let's see if one of these will go to 2025. Sometimes it will down the street. Okay, it won't. So what I like to try and do is I like to get an idea of what's what. So that does not look like the same roof as that. So I know in the last 5 to 6 years, they replaced that roof, which is great. It means I don't have to budget for it. Okay, I got a big deck off the back. It looks like it's in good shape. I'm gonna paint it. So pressure wash paint. Okay, we got a backyard full of gardening stuff. I don't know if you want to keep that or not. I would at least clean it up. It looks a little overgrown. It looks weedy. But it looks like you got a nice path. Cool for somebody, not for me. Okay, we got our back door. Our back door looks nice. We need a new deadbolt and lock set. It looks like they've puttied some of the wood trim, probably for some rot. So maybe replace portion of that. Paint the back door. Okay, our windows look pretty good. We got vinyl windows, vinyl siding. Okay, our AC looks pretty old, so I would say it matches the furnace, probably 21, so I know I need an AC for sure. Okay, siding is vinyl, so this is a plastic siding. What else we got here? So this is our backyard. I'd probably just say like rip all that stuff out and clean it up, make it a nice backyard, because definitely it's just a jungle right now. Okay. Concrete looks great. Garage doors look nice. I mean, exterior is pretty damn turnkey. Like, you could pressure wash this house. So you got the mildew on the siding. I would pressure wash this thing, paint the back deck, clean up the backyard, re-landscape this stuff. Very mature, nice landscape. And honestly, call it a day. Okay. So now that we have gone through what the ARV is, now what we're going to do is we're going to pop it into my deal analyzer, and then we're just going to mess with the purchase price to see what we're going to make on this house. So I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, so Rehab estimator. So I'm going to go here and delete all this stuff. All right, paint entire house. So we said this house was 1,350 square feet. That includes your walls, your ceilings, and your trim and doors. All right, paint garage floor, yes. Paint exterior door. We're gonna paint the front door and the back door. Drywall. We're not hanging any drywall, but we are gonna do a general drywall punch. That means going through the house, skim coating. Remember, we gotta take off wallpaper. We've gotta take pictures off the wall. There's gonna be some paint prep. So almost always you're gonna have the drywall punch. All right, so we have all those vanities actually look pretty small. So we've got 3 bathroom vanities we need to replace. We got 3 towel bars and toilet paper holders. We got 2 toilets, one of them we said we could keep. 3 new mirrors, 2 new shower systems. We're keeping the tub and the pan, and we're gonna do 2 new shower surrounds. So, and then we also need exhaust fans. We need 2 of them, but this is electric and material, so I'm just gonna go 1 because we already have the electric there. All right, so we got a large-ish kitchen. Let's just actually go like 1.5 for small kitchen. That makes it more than large. Let's go, depending on the kitchen layout, I think if we do a peninsula, let's go 1.25. $2,000 of granite. Subway backsplash, just a very basic subway. We're going to do a medium-sized kitchen. Okay, we need a new fridge. We need a dishwasher, microwave, stove. We need to install these appliances. And I know I'm going fast, but once again, I said I have videos on this stuff, but just, we already talked about all these things. It's kind of just putting it on paper now. Okay, so carpet, I'm gonna have, let's just say we do the full house LVP. Let's just say that carpeting the stairs is part of that, $13.50. And what I wanna do is I wanna go back and look, because I wanna see if there's cord around on these floors. There's not. So what you can do when you do this is when you take the floors out, you can pull the trim off and you can reinstall it after. That's what I would try to do to save you some money. So when you're talking to your contractor, instead of them ripping everything up and tearing apart your trim, tell them to pull it off, mark it, and then when you do your floors again, you don't have to do cord around, which is going to be, let me just show you what that means. So cord around is this stuff that goes around the base of your floors. So if you pull your trim off and your flooring guys are good enough, they'll get it close enough to where you don't have to cord around it. That's what I would do, because we're gonna budget $2,000 to cord around. So if you can just set the expectation with your contractors up front, then you probably don't have to do that. Okay, exterior doors, no. Interior doors, we're not installing any more, we're just painting them. Full trim package, no. So we had interior doors. We didn't get fully done counting, but let's call it 8. Handrails were already there. We're gonna paint them. We're not doing any framing. We're not removing any walls. We're not doing anything crazy like that. We gotta do I would say a medium landscape, so 1.5, because we gotta rip out the back, we gotta mow it, we gotta do all that stuff. We gotta pressure wash a smaller house. We're not doing any porch work. We're not doing a new driveway. We're not gutting this place to the studs. But we got to demo the bathroom stuff. So we got to demo the 2 showers, the vanities. So let's say that's one that covers both of them. We got to demo our kitchen. We probably need a 20-yard dumpster on site. And then we got to talk about removing all the floors. We got to talk about removing all the debris. So let's say that's one 40-yard dumpster worth of debris. Roof looked good. Vinyl siding looked good, deck looked good. So we don't have anything for painting the deck, so let's go up here to exterior paint. And let's say maybe like 250 square foot of paint for that deck. So $750 sounds pretty fair. Windows looked good. We're not adding a deck. We always say mailbox and house numbers. We're not doing a new garage. We're not doing all new garage doors. All right, we need a furnace and AC. Oops, not ductwork as well, furnace and AC together. We're not replacing our plumbing stack. We're not roughing in any half baths. We're not doing any new bathroom remodeling. We might have a little bit of plumbing that we have to do supply line wise, but we're gonna add that into our kitchen and our bathroom budgets. We do need a water heater, okay? There weren't any foundation issues that I saw. Usually split levels, now don't take this with a grain of salt, usually split levels don't have foundation issues. That's what I've seen. And we're not swapping that electrical panel, we already talked about that. Light fixtures, we got 3 bathrooms, we had the 3 lights upstairs, so that's 6, we probably got 2 outside, that's 8. Let's go 10. There weren't any in the bedrooms. We're gonna also swap our outlets to white every time, and then we're gonna stage this house and we're gonna final clean it. So somebody always messes with my damn thing here, so I'm gonna have to spend 20 seconds fixing this. All right, so that right there is a $42,000, $637.50 budget for the rehab. I'm gonna add 10% contingency. If you're watching this and you don't know what you're doing, 20%. But I'm pretty confident in that number. So that is a total budget of $46,901,000. So also, my profit and grid matrix here, so if you've not seen this before, I'm gonna explain it. This house was built in 1970. That means that I'm gonna spend $40,000 to $70,000 and it's built in 1970. I wanna have a 40 grand profit margin on this house. Or 35, it's right at the threshold of what I'm looking for. But I just go down, okay, built here. So I wanna make anywhere from 35 to 40 grand projected. Okay, cool. Let's go over to my analyzer and let's say, okay, the house is vacant. How long is this thing gonna take realistically? Now, realistic is gonna have to be you sitting with yourself and say, how fast can I actually get this rehab done? If you've never done it before, add more time. That's a very simple thing. For me, this house would take us 30 days to rehab, 60 days to sell. So I'm 90 days in and out of this thing. 1% for closing costs. Now this isn't going to be, let's just say we're on paper buying this for $240. That's not what we're buying it for, but I will, just for shits and giggles, show you guys that the closing costs are 1% of that, because you're going to pay the closing costs most likely. Let's say I get a private money loan of 12% and 1 point. My taxes were what, $4,800 on that? I think that's what it was. Let's see. $4,800, look at me. Utilities, I usually do $100 a month, and this is going to break it down. So let's also go $100 a month on mowing. So it's going to break it into a daily increment. So don't worry about getting it perfect. $2,000, and I'm also going to sell this thing for $335. I'm going to pay 5% realtor fees. So that gets me to a profit margin of $13,844.37. Now, we are doing a little bit more to this house. So can we sell it possibly for closer to $345? Sure, I think so, but that gets us to a $23,000, but I want to run my numbers conservative. I want to say $335, and if I get more than that, that's great. So now what are the things that you can change to make an offer to make your 35, 40 grand that you wanted to make? The only two things that you can do, well, I guess three, you can go back through your rehab and you can take things out. And you can say, maybe I can do this instead of this. Maybe I can just paint my shower surrounds instead of replace them. Maybe I can paint my cabinets. Maybe I can leave these floors. Maybe I can do this, that, and the other. Whatever you think that you need to do less to make it work. But then again, don't trick yourself and don't lie to yourself trying to make a deal work. So the other thing is going to be money. Can you get money cheaper? So if you're going to get any private money, I would say you're going to pay anywhere from 12 to 14%. If you're going to get hard money, I know hard money, I get hard money at about 11% in 1 point. So maybe I can skim off a little bit there. But I also know I can get hard money or private money all day at 12 or 14 and 0. So look at that. 11% in 1 point is $10,000. So 0 points and 14% is actually less money than 11 and 1. So play with these numbers and figure out what's what. So okay, let's say I go 14 and 0. That gets me to a $15,000 profit margin. I want to be at least 35. So what if I drop my purchase price down to $225? Then your purchase and rehab go down. Then your private money goes down. And now I'm at a $30,966. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe you can also say, hey, I'm only willing to pay 4% realtor fees. That gets you up to 34. But once again, let's be conservative here. So let's say we drop our purchase price to $220. $36,188.94. This to me is a great profit margin. It's got great, we ran everything very conservatively. Because look, if you sell this thing for $345, which, shit, you might, you're making 45 grand. It's a great day. $335, but now you want to cover yourself that if it sells for $320 and you hold it for 120 days, so an extra month, you're down to 18. So if you don't run your numbers right, your margins start to diminish and you spend more time. It's all about being effective when it comes to flipping. So let's say 340. 40 grand at 340 and 220. Let's see what we're in contract on this thing for. We're in contract for 226. So our real number on this is 226. And let's say that ARV is 340. This would be a very realistic, like what would this would actually look like if I'm underwriting with my team. 14 and 0, 34 grand, 35 grand. Like, to me, I look at my team and I say that's a great deal. We need to do as many of those as we can. This is, again, in a great school district, built in the 1970s plus, easy house to renovate. We're not ripping apart walls. We're kind of just ripping things out and putting it right back where they were. So if you're watching this and you're trying to flip your first house or an easy house or kind of get the ball rolling, this is what you need. Like, I would maybe even take 20 on this. Like, at the end of the day, if we sell this and we make 20, I'm not going to be mad about that, because this is going to be one that is very, very simple in and out. Also, what I want to look at here too is if I buy this thing and do literally nothing and just throw it on the market, what are things selling as is in this neighborhood? We've been doing this exercise with my team a lot, just to kind of show them that, hey, finding a really good off-market deal, sometimes just selling it as is can be just as powerful. So we got 303. So here was the other, this one. So like, this one's about the same size. So exterior is about the same. You got probably the same kind of floors. The kitchen's nicer, no doubt, way nicer. Okay. You got probably the same floors, the same doors, paint's maybe a little nicer, but your bathroom's about the same. Okay, your downstairs is about the same. You've got, it's only 1.5 baths. So like, I could probably almost do nothing to this house and sell it for at least, I don't know, 280. So let's look at that. Let's say, okay, 280, definitely 90 days. Let's say 14%. And then also I sell my as-is ones with a 1% realtor. So 226, let's say I purchased that for. Let's go into my rehab calculator and let's say we clean it out. Let's go, let's say we put 10,000 into it maximum, and that's generous. That right there makes us 18,000. So for me, is it worth buying it, getting 20 grand 2 or 3 months faster? Maybe, maybe not. But maybe I put it up for 299. 299, we make just as much as if we were gonna flip it. So to me, I'm gonna throw it up and see if we get it. Because once again, I'm gonna beat like a dead horse. Good school district, nice house. Also, people feel like they're getting a deal if they're getting it under what all the other ones are selling for. So somebody come in, maybe they're handy, maybe they like to do their own work. So just don't overthink it. Just because you're not actually renovating the house doesn't mean it's not a flip either too. To me, money counts all the same. We've been wholesaling a lot of stuff. We sold a house yesterday that we did nothing to. We just cleaned it out. We made 40 grand. So it's a cool business, and at the end of the day, it only really works to wholesale if it's off market. Because if the market sees what the house looks like, then the appraiser is gonna be like, well, you did nothing to the house to make it be worth that, and it'll probably appraise low. So I'm gonna stop my share here. All right, so I've probably been doing this video for about, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes. Hopefully you guys understand, this is what I go through. Anytime we wanna really analyze a deal with my team, this is exactly what we do. We look through all the pictures, we look through all the comps, we have back and forth conversation about what we think the rehab is gonna be, what we think the ARV is gonna be, and then we work backwards to an offer number. But if you're wholesaling and you're watching this video, you just have to get close. So like at 226, also, I didn't mention this, I have somebody that's buying this house for 245. I don't know their numbers. They might be doing the work themselves. They might get cheaper money. They may think ARV is 360, right? So like if you're wholesaling, it's horseshoes and hand grenades. Get close. I knew that 226 is definitely close enough on this, and somebody is gonna buy it. So we're closing, I think tomorrow, maybe I close this today. I might have bought this today. And then we're reselling it, so I'm double closing it. It's just gotta transfer title companies. So if you like videos like this, if you like the real side of real estate, drop me some comments, show me some love, like and subscribe, and make sure you're looking out for Mondays and for Fridays for us dropping new YouTube videos. We'll see you then.